Vasudeva Sutang Devam Kangsha Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnang Bande Jagadigurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons, Kangsha and Chanura, the dear darling of Mother Devaki, and the Guru of the world. Om, peace, peace, peace. So, nice to see you all. We are on the second chapter, and we are reading the verse from 30th on page 150. So, here Sri Krishna was talking about the eternal nature of the Atman, the birthless, deathless nature of the Atman, and he was encouraging this Arjuna not to run away from the fight of life, but to face it knowing the real nature of the world and knowing the real nature of himself. So he said that this body you are looking at, it was not here before your birth. It came when you are born. It will not be there after you leave the body. So why are you crying for this body which will automatically, you was born and will die, will not stay for forever. So therefore, we read on the verse number 28 that the unmanifest, it became manifest, and manifest becoming unmanifest. So this is the way of this body. No one's body is remaining here eternally. Everyone's body, at one point of time, it appeared, and another point of time it will disappear. So why so much seriousness about this body dying, I will die, I will die. I will die, it will natural death. So you need not have to repent for that. And we also read that this Atman, which is undying truth, verse number 29, we read the other day, that it is someone observes this Atman, the self, as wonderful. Some thing that is marvelous, as marvelous. Another again hears of it as strange. Though hearing, yet some people do not know what is that. No? So this Atman is indescribable. Therefore, people thinking about Atman, different people have different opinion. But it is the truth, it is eternal, it is not undying truth. Therefore, people we hear about Atman all the time, but we don't comprehend it. We don't understand it. We are talking about that. I am talking, but I don't understand. Why? Because if you understand, you cannot talk. If you realize, then you are gone. Because you have not understood, that's why you are talking. But we talk, why? We talk for this purpose, that talking will give us some understanding about the reality. But whenever you talk, you verbalize something, means you make the limitation. You bring that thing into limitation. The unlimited you bring into the limit. But how can we express which is unlimited? How can we express that which is infinite and which is eternal, which is beginningless, endless? How can we describe that? Only few words, and the words are too limiting. So whenever you express through the words, then you really lose its inner divinity, inner sanctity, inner wholeness. So, therefore, this Atman, even people hear about that again and again, that my real self, I. Who is that I? People hear about, talk about, some see, that is a strange thing. I am Atman, how can it be? I live in this body and mind, so much limitation. My back is hurting, my knee is hurting, and I am feeling pain, I am taking medicine, and I am saying, and so I am infinite. How come? This dichotomy, how can it be compared and how can it be reconciled? So that's why people cannot comprehend it. Even they hear, they feel it is strange. When they talk about it, they feel that is very unusual. So this is the expression, but that truth is eternal. So now, but this 38th verse we read, but the Atman, real nature of the Atman is talking about Dehi Nityam Abadho Ayam, Dehi Nityam Abadho Ayam, Dehe Sarvasya Bharata, Dehe Sarvasya Bharata, Tasmat Sarvani Bhutani, Tasmat Sarvani Bhutani, Natvam Shochi Tumarhasi, Natvam Shochi Tumarhasi. You know Dehi. Dehi means the possessor of this body. This is the body who possesses it. There is somebody who is possessing this body. I don't, that is called I. In my body, I possess. But what is that I? That's called the Dehi, the owner of this body. This body who owns the body, or who resides in the body, who is the master in the body. Dehi. Whose body is that? Deho. Deho is the body. Whose body? He is called Dehi. So that Dehi, whose body is this, that person, or it is not a person, that one, Nityam, all the time, eternally, abadha, it cannot be slain, it cannot be cut, it cannot be destroyed. Abadho ayam. But it remains Dehe Sarvasya Bharata. In everyone's Deha, Deha means body. In every body he resides. He resides in the everybody. Dehe Sarvasya. If you go to a human, subhuman, ant, plant, any living, non-living, it is there residing in all. Dehe Sarvasya Bharata. That Dehi, that master, that lord of this body, owner of this body, he is Nityam. It is not that his body is here, he is here, body is gone, that truth is gone, that Atman is gone. No, it is there all the time, and it is now residing in the heart of all, everyone, the physical. Tasmat Sarvani Bhutani. Therefore, all these bhutas, these created beings are there, it is there. Nattam Sochitum Arhasi. You need not have to lament for them or feel bereaved for them. So this, the indweller, who is the Dehi, Dehi is the indweller or the lord of the world, of this body, owner of this body. In this body is the indweller of the bodies of all, is ever invulnerable. Therefore, you should not grieve for any being. So anyone is born or anyone is dead, you should not have to be rejoicing or grieving, because that indweller, that eternal reality, that your real I is not limited, it is not to be destroyed, it cannot be destroyed, it is all the time there. Whether the body is here or the body is not here, it is just there. So the views of the materialistic idea are therein set aside as baseless. This is the argument who thinks that body is all, Charvak philosophy, which says this body is all, This life as you see is all enjoy, eat, sleep, and make it merry. So long the body is there. After death, why do you think? After death everything gets destroyed. The body is burned. What remains? So why do you bother about that? That is the philosophy of the Charvakas or materialistic philosophy. This is counteracted by this verse, that no, the body dies, but the owner of the body, who dwells in the body, Dehi, Nityam, it is there eternally, and Abadhoayam, it cannot be destroyed, it cannot be killed, it cannot be slain, it cannot be burned, it is never to be destroyed. But it remains Sarvasya Dehe, in the heart of all, in every being, every sentient and insentient being, it resides there. That which is all pervaded. So that does not go. Therefore, whether the body is there or someone loses the body, or the body is there, it does not matter. The real nature, the indweller, never goes anywhere, comes from anywhere. So the fact about the Atman is conclusively presented here. It is incumbent on man to be poised above despondency and thereby pave the way for spiritual enlightenment. And this is verily the path of the Shreyas, that is the path of enlightenment. So in the path of enlightenment is to think that I am not the body. How? Seeing this, the body was not here. A body came in between some date, we call date of birth, our date of birth. Before date of birth, there is a logical language called prak abhava. This body was abhava, absent, before its birth. So, before its birth, that prak abhava, this absence, so after death also it will be absent, which was not there, has come in between, it will be not there after some time. It is a logic. So we should not grieve for this loss or gain or whatever is happening here after being in the body. So you should not grieve for the death of the body or disappearance of the body. The body cannot be destroyed. So this emphasis. So not only the spiritual standpoint, but the worldly standpoint also is now taken into consideration. Because Arjuna is so much grief-stricken, so here Bhagavan Krishna is giving all types of arguments to convince in his mind, philosophically, spiritually. Even if you look at the materialistic science, from that standpoint, you should not grieve. If the body, forget about spiritual ideal, Atman is undying, beginningless, endless, this, that, you don't believe in. But this much you believe, body will go one day. Body was not here, body will go one day. So why to grieve for that? And be what is to be done now. Be active in your life, follow your duties and disciplines, and be heroic to face the challenges of life. The Gita is always asking us to face the brute. That's the point. Face the brute. All the challenges, don't turn your face back and run away. There is no escape. It is the reality of life. So, live it, enjoy it, face it, and know that it has a destruction. It will die one day. So, you can be bolder. So that is the idea. So, this 31 verse on 151 page. Swadharmam shya, swadharmam opicha veksha, nabikam pitumarhasi, nabikam pitumarhasi. Dharmat hi juddhat shreyo anyat, dharmat hi yuddhyat shreyo anyat, kshatriyasya na vidyate, kshatriyasya na vidyate. Now, forget about all these philosophies. You are born in a society, in a warrior family. Kshatriya family, that is their duty You are from childhood, you are trained for archery, for fighting and combating. You learn all these things. And if you think you are born as a Kshatriya, your duty is to protect the innocent people, your duty is to rule the country and fight the evil out. That is your duty. So you should not get out of your duty. As a Kshatriya, Swadharma, your own dharma, your own what you call the birth, according to birth, your duties. Society has, in Indian and traditional old idea, all the duties of Kshatriya, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, to run a wonderful society which will be balanced in every aspect, best society. When Kshatriya, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, all are doing their perfect duties. Suppose Brahman always, they are poor people, but they have the wisdom. So in Indian standard, you see, look at the earlier history, even in Vedic times, that the kings are keeping some gurus, and they are the guiding the whole. When they are in dilemma, what to do, what not to do, they go to their Brahmin guide, guru, to get the instant, what shall be done, what shall we do now? Because Kshatriya will have to protect the country, rule the country so that the good people are protected, bad people, their power is reduced. For good living, businessmen should do their good business so that money flows to the hands of the people so that their life becomes easy. And Sudra should work their all duties. They all work of construction, menial work, and everyone should do their duty to make a wonderful society. So, you are born in the family of the Kshatriya. Your duties are to fight with the evil, beyonded people, and destroy them so that you can be a source of joy and help to the society's good people, who are honest people. So if you look at from that perspective, your own swadharma, your own dharma, your own nature, one own assigned responsibilities, na bikampitum arhasi. You should not be, you should not have to waver from your responsibility. So, dharmathi juddhat, for kshatriyasya, for a kshatriya, for a person who is a warrior, born in a warrior class, kshatriyasya, juddhat annat. Other than juddha means fight. There is no other greater duty than that of the fight. Fighting is the greatest duty for fighting for the right cause, fighting for the protection of the good people, fighting against the evils of the society. That is the duty you are given. Like we call the police. Suppose in the society, if the police is withdrawn, what will happen? Then naturally, what is the purpose of the police? Police is to maintain the law and discipline and help the people who are good, who are evil, to punish them. But if police does not do his duties, think what will happen then. In third world countries, it is very much common that you go and bribe the police first. You do a big crime, and just give huge amount of bribe. And police will come and take those people who are innocent, put them to jail. And those people who are bad, they will be punished. They will be walking in the street with boldness. Because the Kshatriya dharma is not properly maintained. The police, the protector, the power who is the Kshatriya, the fighting people, the military people. Suppose military is to protect the country, but military goes to protect the other country and turns against our own country, then what will happen? So this is not the duty of a Kshatriya. Kshatriya means the person who is born in a warrior family, has that responsibility. You cannot just turn your face. Oh, how shall I kill them? Then why you are, from your childhood you practiced all the Kshatriya practices? Why did you go to police training? Why did you go for military, what you call, boot training, what is called? Boot camp. Why did you go to that? You are all interested from your childhood. Your tendency says that you are fit for that type of thing. So, dharmathi, that following the dharma, the duties of a kshatriya, there is nothing greater than that for a kshatriya. Juddha, fight, war. What for the just cause, right cause. Monk will have different reason. They won't go. That's why when they sometimes oath-taking ceremony happens, say, oh, our vows are that we have taken the vow of non-violence, so we cannot really say, I'll go. That I cannot. Anyhow, the point is that monk will have some duty. Responsibilities to perform. Business people should do right type of business, bring business to enrich the country's financial situation better. So everyone should do their duty, and you as a Kshatriya warrior, you should have your duty and you should not waver from that. So again, looking at your own duty as well, you as Arjuna, you have your duty. What? You should not waver. Waver, for this is nothing more welcoming to a Kshatriya than a righteous war. Why? Because if you do righteous war, you are doing for your just cause. You are ordained for that. If you die, you will go to heaven because you have done your duty. And if you don't die, then you enjoy the kingdom. So no loss in both sides. Even if you die, you are not losing because you have fought for the right cause and you have taken your journey to reach that heaven. And if you do not die, you conquer, then you will be ruling the country. You will enjoy the joy of becoming a king. So both ways, materialistic way also, you should not stop your attempt to fight. That will lead you to the path of God realization. 32 on page 152. Yadrichaya chopapannam yadrichaya chopapannam swargadvaram apabritam swargadvaram apabritam shukhinaha kshatriyaha partha shukhinaha kshatriya partha labhante yuddhamidrisham labhante yuddhamidrisham. This type of yuddha, this type of war, this type of fight comes in not every time. It's a fight for justice, fight for truth. So it has come upon you. You didn't want the war. You tried to avoid the war. But it has come to you unsought for, unwanted. So you have obtained such a war. Happy are the Kshatriyas. Those will be the warrior people should be happy. Because who obtain such a warfare that comes unsought. You have not asked for it. You wanted to avoid it. You wanted peace. You wanted joy and harmony. But it didn't work. So it has come upon you unsought for. Then you should fight it. So as an open gateway to heaven. Because it will take you, if you die, you will go straight. And that is the Hindu belief, that you do your duty perfectly, whatever stage of life you are. By performing your duty perfectly, you will after death will reach a higher level of your, that's the heaven, we call heaven. That means, that is the goal of, you are not making a target for your self-realization, God realization. That will also happen. If you go to doing your duty perfectly, being truthful, just in the war, following the principles of the war, if you go on like that, you will attain highest joy. And it may lead you to the path of Shreyas. Prayas is the path of this downward journey. Shreyas is the path of upward journey in the spirit. So you will attain. So explanation is here. At one time or another, the tide of fortune rises for everyone. All that a man ought to do is to discharge his duty as best as he can. See, this is the responsibility. The society, they should be following this rule. We must have to perform our own duties in whatever. Father should perform father's duty. Mother should perform mother's duty. A child should perform child's duty. A student should be performing student's duty. So if everyone is dutiful and responsible for that, what a brilliant society will be there. Husband's duty, wife's duty, mom's duty, children's duty. So this was emphasized in the Vedic time as also more till to the Mahabharata period and other period. Duty was very important. It is your bounden duty. Even now we say it is not the duty of a king or the politics. When you talk about politics, justification of this, we say, no, this is not right, this should be done. That means there is a justification of following the perfect duty of a king, perfect duty of a minister, perfect duty of a congressman. Everyone has their own duty. You are responsible for these people. You have to see that what good will bring, how the best help can be brought to in the life of the people. You are responsible for that. But if you don't do, then you are an irresponsible person. What's the question of any spiritual growth? You are failing your material duty. So that is emphasis is given. It is like taking the boat off the river, overcoming the downward flow of water. While steadfastly and devotedly doing his duty, a favorable time comes to bless the man with all prosperity. It is like the ebb of the tide. Then the water rushes up against the river, providing facilities to row the boat easily. The wind also begins to blow favorably then. That means you are doing the duty, means in your spiritual journey all these things come together. Blessings come. Suppose a police, when he does his duty, even die, how many people honor that if it is a good cause, no? So there in spiritual path, that is a boosting. So many people's blessings are coming on the life of one who can protect the life, innocent people in such a way. In Ukraine, we are hearing some people are still, they are struggling in that condition, they are trying to rescue some people. So we respect them because they are the people who are helping to protect the interest of others. So this is the duty. By unfurling the sail, the passage is quickened. A little effort at the appropriate time leads to great results. That is called the opportune moment. Arjuna is face to face with it now. The trials and tribulations of the exile in the forest, that is over. He has but to execute his duty now as a matter of course. The attainment of the earth and heaven, of victory and fame, and of enjoyment and blessedness are waiting to attain on him, means Arjuna. Diffidence and despondency are therefore out of place at this juncture. The tide of fortune and the opportune time comes to one and all, consistent with the law of growth and evolution. Blessed are they who utilize these advantages to get fixed in the path of Shreyas, in the path of spiritual development. And now, suppose you, O Arjuna, if you don't listen to any of these arguments, and if you don't do your duties, then what will happen? This will happen. Atha chet tvam imam dharmyam, atha chet tvam imam dharmyam, sangramam na karishyasi, sangramam na karishyasi. Tata Swadharmam Kirtincha, Tata Swadharmam Kirtincha, Hitva Papam Avapsasi, Hitva Papam Avapsasi. Athachet, but if, Tam, you, Imam Dharmam, this righteous duty you don't perform, and what is the duty? Sangramam, fight, war. If you don't face this warfare, na karishyasi, if you don't do, so tataha, therefore, swadharmam, you are first of all not following your own duty for which you are responsible to the society. Society looks at the kings and the warriors when difficulty comes. Say, oh, what is in every country when it is this type of war and things going on. The ordinary people, what they are expecting? Now our government should be strong. They should protect our interests. No? So everyone is expecting. At that time you fly away and you say, I will not do war. I will not get involved into war. What type of responsibility is that? So you will be swadharma, your own duty you will give up, and kirtim. And you are known in the world as Arjuna is a great warrior. And what? You have defeated so many big warriors in your life, and that fame. If the fame for a person, famous person's fame goes away, what remains for him? So you will lose your fame. So hitva, having abandoned a papam, and you will incur sin. Sin means negativity. All negative things will come. Yes.
Is this idea of swadharma, is this based on karma? Means that Arjuna was born as a kshatriya and has this duty being born as a brahmin. Is that based
No, not on the birth, but on the qualities more. But it has become afterwards, Brahmin's son becomes Brahmin. But that is not. Kshatriya, Brahmin, they are by nature. A child in the same family. 4 brothers are there maybe. One goes for joining in the military. One goes to become a doctor. Another becomes a monk. See? So inborn tendency, that should be the consideration. But in one time it was that a warrior's son will be a warrior. A blacksmith's son will know much of the skill of doing things as his father does. So that time people used to think that is the way the class system came. Brahmin class, Brahmin son. But it is the tendency of the person. More that. So, but if you will not wage this righteous war, then forfeiting your own duty and honor, you will incur sin. That will be the fate. It is no beneficial. Your fame will be lost. Your glory will be gone. And you will forget your duties. You are losing from your duty. And you are running away from the war, giving up your all the training of your whole life. So it is neither beneficial in any way. And not only that, next 34th verse, Akirtin chapi bhutani, akirtin chapi bhutani, kathaishyanti te abhayam, kathayanti te abhayam, sambhavitasya cha kirtihi, sambhavitasya cha akirti, maranad atirichyate, maranad atirichyate. Now, akirtim, people will talk very bad about you, your dishonor, disrespect you. The honor you are getting now from people of respect, they honor you because of your truthfulness, because of your strength, valor. And when you run away from the world like that, people will dishonor you. And kathaisyanti, people will talk about that. And people will ever recount your infamy. And to the honored, you are an honorable person. Your loss of honor is more than death. No? Death is the physical death. But an honorable person, when his name and fame is being made to dishonor, and so that will be like a suicide, that will be like a death. So, akirti maranat otirichyate, it will be to the honored person that infamy is surely worse than death. Rather you die, rather than this, your fame, your name, your honor is belittled. So the characteristic of ordinary man is to preserve his life somehow. But different is the way of a hero. He knows well to safeguard life as well as sacrifice it for the great cause, but is willingly surrendering life to an ideal. His glory increases and fame spreads. It is bad enough for a warrior to cringe before the enemy and beg to be spared when being trampled to death by him. It is much worse for a hero to cling to life after losing honor and fame. So, you should not do as an honorable person in the society. People love you, respect you for your strength and valor, so you should not form that type of running away attitude. So 35 verse. Bhayat ranat uparatam, bhayat ranat uparatam, mangshante tvang maharathaha, mangshante tvang maharathaha, yeshan chatang bahumato, yeshan chatvang bahumato, bhutva yasyashi laghavam, bhutva yasyashi laghavam. So, bhayat ranat uparatam. Bhaya means fear. Out of fear, if you uparato, if you become withdrawn from war, bhayat ranat, rana is the war, and uparato is the withdrawn. When you withdraw yourself from this such a war, mangshante, people will think, Tvam, he will think about you, that you are a Maharatha, you are a great warrior. That means Maharatha is a term in the military. Rathi, Maharathi. That means one who fights with a huge number of warriors at a time, single. One person can defeat with maybe 2,000 fighters. They have so much skill to fight with so many people at a time. They are called Maharathis. So you are a Maharathi, and people will talk ill about you. So this Maharatha cha tang bahumata. Among these Maharathis, that means the great warriors, they know your valor, they know your strength. They will mangshante, and towards them you will be bahumato, much of the thought have been jasasi laghavam. They will feel you light. You are a very light-minded person, you have no real strength. So you are so much honored by them so long, and when you give up this war and run away, you will be belittled by them. So the great chariot warriors, that's Maharatha, will view you as one fled from the war out of fear. Naturally, Duryodhana and others will ridicule you. They will say that, hey, see, what type of Arjuna, he saw this war, and seeing us, he didn't even raise his weapon. And seeing this, out of fear, he ran away. So, we'll view you as one who fled away from the war out of fear. You that were highly esteemed by them will be held very lightly. That means they will think the enemies of Arjuna, such as Duryodhana and others, were compelled, unwillingly though, to admire his valor, because Arjuna was such a powerful person. They had to concede, with concealed envy of course, that Arjuna was one who engaged the Lord Shiva himself in an encounter and won for him for prize the divine weapon Pasupati, And all them, he is meaningless. He has no power. He fought with Shiva to get the Gandhiva, and he got it. That means Arjuna was such a powerful person. And now seeing these few warriors, and you run away. So what they will think about you? Actually, Krishna is encouraging him, boosting him to just wake up, so that his depressed mood goes away. Most depressed condition to more fighting condition. No? In our life situation, it always we are in that trouble. Situation makes us so depressed sometimes. We lose all our strength to fight again, to raise our head again. The Arjuna, this is the advice for them. No. Many people love you, respect you, know that you have the power and you did it before. But you should not run away. That is not your duty, that's not your work. All the same, they had the design to vanquish this man of mighty valor somehow. In a situation like this, they would not construe that Arjuna has withdrawn from the war front out of love and consideration for his kith and kin. They would slight him as one who has fled from fear. Regard for the hero will at once transform into a ridicule. That infamy can in no way be remedied. Fear does not become a hero, does not become a hero. A man given to fear cannot achieve anything in this world. The deed done today from fear will be the cause for repentance tomorrow. So, don't do that. Shall we end here? Or there is nobody on the online much.
You had one question online. It was, are we all like or not Kshatriyas on the battlefield of life?
What is that?
Are we all like or not Kshatriyas on the battlefield of life?
That's true. Yeah. Are we not all Kshatriyas in the battlefield of our life? Yeah, that's true, we are all. Kshatriya. Yeah, the warrior. We are all warrior in the life's battlefield. We are all Arjunas, little Arjunas. And sometimes we, like Arjuna's present condition, try to avoid. But that is the point. How to avoid and how to face. Most of the time when we try to avoid, the problem does not leave us. Rather, they gain strength. If it is faced immediately, it may be quickly solved. But not out of haughtiness, but thinking properly and understanding the right step. So, in that sense, really, I think that we are all warriors, or you can say like that, life's duty, we are all Kshatriya. But our fight is different. I am not fighting with a war with a weapon, but we are fighting with our honesty, with our sincerity, with our love, with our God-centered feeling in life. So, and that fight is going on against our evil tendencies, negativities, tamasic quality, rajasic quality. So we are fighting. That's a fight. Everywhere is the fight. So both internal fight and external fight. External fight with the people, with the society where we live, and person, people, these are, we are really bothered there also sometimes. And also internally we are always in spiritual life. It is a big fight all the time. Spirituality is fight, is it not? There is not with the weapon, but this is the weapon of your inner mind. A meditation is not a fight every day. Very peaceful fight inside. No one knows. But I am trying to concentrate on my chosen ideal, and then mind is going here and there. Again, that's a fight. Come back, go again. How to control the mind. It's a fight. In that sense, yes, life itself is a fight. Counter thoughts, counter feelings. Always we are reading this type of books and other things is a boosting our energy into the proper direction. This is also a fight to combat with our negativities, tamasic qualities, tamasic tendencies, how we can get out of those and make it tamas to rajas and rajas to sattva and beyond sattva. So this is just don't look at it, then the problem is not solved. Problem remains there. Rather it gains ground more. So we have to be aware of our activities of the mind, the situation which my thoughts are compelling me to take in one direction, the other direction. So this is a struggle. That's why you call spiritual struggle. But the external struggle is also there. And in external level, there are, I think, different duties for different people. Monks should not resent. Monks should not fight, external fight. But householders should have to stand, Swami Vivekananda said, for justice. Like Arjuna is giving the idea, you should stand firm and protest and do and righteous war. So that way duties will be determined by the background of their tendencies, but internal spiritual struggle is a struggle. Our day-to-day living is a struggle. Always truth versus untruth, righteousness versus unrighteousness, love versus hatred, always it will be there. Yes.
I'm thinking about the war right now that's going on in Ukraine and how I heard a German and Polish.
You speak up, Durga.
Huh?
Yeah, you speak up.
Oh, I heard them speaking about what to do. Should they go in with weapons or should they refrain because killing's the weapons are going to escalate.
Yeah.
And,
So that is a very difficult area. I cannot give any judgment on that. But every country has its right to protect their border, protect the people, but these are. That's why the UNO is there, this, that, to think about what is the right procedure to stop these things, or how to stop it. But the world does not work with that way. But we cannot think about that as sitting in America, what can you do? We can only, in our simple language, what shall I do? We can only pray for something, or if we can raise some fund for the people who are suffering, that much we can do. And yes, really feel for them and pray for them, and that anyone can suggest better, some other suggestion.
what I was really thinking about was how Gandhi approached it, and he relied heavily on the Bhagavad Gita for his.
That's his strength. Gandhi.
He did.
No.
The Boer War and
Yeah.
the World War II, he knew that he had to stand up and fight
Yeah.
for his country, but he did it through the ambulance.
Non-violence, yeah. But non-violence is a power. But that power is very difficult to get it. Not just stopping war or running away does not make a non-violent movement. Non-violence is a greater power than the power of going into fight. So how many people are ready for that? How many idealism are standing before us? Yeah. Okay, so we end here to Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.